All right, welcome to Potentially Dangerous. I feel like that opener kind of gets longer and longer and longer, but it's the same one we do every single time. But I'm excited about talking wrestling here. The season's kind of a little sketchy. Every single day it gets sketchier and sketchier and sketchier what's going on, but we've got rankings. Class 3A, Class 2A, Class 1A are up on our Rockfin channel. You can get a little bit of a teaser on iwrestle.com. The top 2 ranked wrestlers and the tournament team rankings are on there. But now we have the Rockfin platform for subscription. So a lot of our stuff, we've been getting some questions. A lot of our stuff that our rankers, our contributors are spending a lot of time on will be behind a paywall. Some of the things that don't take as much time will be free and on iwrestle.com like normal. But these things that these people are spending tons and tons of time on, they're going to be behind the paywall. So we hope that you appreciate our coverage, and we'll drop the $10 a month to do that. You can cancel anytime. What's really awesome about Rockfin right now is there's so many creators coming to the network that's wrestling only, but there's other stuff going on too, and it's $10 for everything, not just the iWrestle channel. So one misconception about I get quite a bit is if it's at $10 each channel. One, you subscribe to us, you get everybody. So pretty excited about that. So yesterday we talked with Lars about 2A rankings, and today we are headed to Don Bosco, the great, the one and only Gilbertville Pride. Eric Schares joins us. He's been doing rankings now for how long, Schares?
43 years.
You did it before I wrestle?
Yes.
On your own?
11 years before I was born as well.
There you go. All right. So you got the Class 1A rankings, and now this year, obviously with us going to Rockfin, kind of taking things up a notch a little bit, rankings have dropped 2 weeks prior than what we normally do. Did that give you, each class is different, I feel like, right? With the coaches, how they respond, what's out there. Class 1A is a whole different animal. Was it easier for you to do it this year? Were coaches responsive? Or how was this process for you this year?
I think it was about normal. I mean, you get a response from maybe half the coaches or so. You just kind of go and just ask some of the kids individually where they're thinking they're going to go. I always feel like that's the best way to do it because I know when I was in high school, my coach had no clue what weight I was at day to day. So sometimes it's best just to go right to the kids.
Yeah, even now, it's probably harder for the coaches, right? Because they're not seeing these kids every day, especially the ones that are doing, um, doing online only or a mixture where the heck it could be. Most people are, have done some of their weight certs, so hopefully some of these coaches know. But notice that going right to the kids on social media seems to be the best, getting the best response. So I put out a tweet: Don Bosco, Lisbon towards the top. Shocker. Every single year, these two teams are at the top. Don Bosco, number one. They've got 9 ranked wrestlers. Lisbon with 8. But West Sioux's right up there with 6. And Logan Magnolia's got rich history. They haven't been very good for a while now, but the last couple of years they've been kind of getting back up there, right? So we know Don Bosco, we know Lisbon. Let's do like just a quick outlook of what teams, and we're going to break down. If you're new to the podcast, new to the show, we're going to look at each weight class a little bit in detail of favorites, maybe some sleepers, what weight classes are really. There's got a heavy hitter at the top, but let's start with the teams. How does Class 1A look for the tournament team race and the dual team race?
It's probably gonna be Lisbon and Bosco again at the top. I don't really see too much that's gonna change there because they got a lot of their high end guys that they're gonna get points there one way or another. You have West Sioux. They got a chance to score quite a bit of points. They do have one new guy in this year who's has the potential to score a lot of points for them. Logan Magnolia, they have a couple guys that aren't ranked in here that I could see being higher here. I don't have a whole lot more to say on that right now, I guess, but they just have some potential for some
Freshman.
guys that worked out. Yeah, that and yeah, just some guys that didn't wrestle last year because of injury or didn't have a good spot in the lineup for them. So
Yeah,
I
and
mean, it's
again,
those two. You got New London too. They have some guys top end scorers too, but they don't have quite the full team like some of the other guys. But yeah, there's a couple names up there.
Don Bosco right now, as far as projected points, 160. First off, I don't know. I don't want to say who put this point system together, the spreadsheet together, how these team scores were calculated. But it's mind-boggling to look at this thing. I don't know how you guys, how it's normally. I've never handled uh, the team rankings of how that's tabulated. Someone's always done it. Um, but
It's I don't know.
this looks
It's
crazy
pretty
to me.
straightforward.
Yeah, it's
It's pretty
pretty. I mean,
straightforward.
it,
It's
it
kind of
makes
tedious, but
sense.
I mean, yeah, you're just basically it's placing points plus advancement without your bonus points, obviously, because you don't know them. So it's I don't know. It's kind of fun to do.
Yeah, heck yeah, and we'll have some of those numbers out here in the coming weeks of kind of how that's tabulated and whatnot. But Don Bosco 160 projected, Lisbon 122, West Sioux projected at 90. So pretty big difference in projected team scores. Obviously, things can change at any bracket, but if you're just looking at the average, there's a pretty big gap right there
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could see it getting closed a little bit, but it's yeah, that would be where my money is right now,
with Don Bosco
as it currently sits right now. Yeah,
as a homer,
yeah.
as people are gonna
So
say. But
I
all
get it
right,
both
let's get
ways.
it. You're from Gilbert. You're a Bosco kid, so everyone says you're a homer, and the rankings are. But last year, right? You was it flipped? Lisbon was number one preseason. Was that right?
I'm always right. I don't know. Whatever it was the right way.
Hey, that's what I like about you. All right, so let's get right into this. 106 pounds. Again, if you're new to IRSL rankings, how it kind of works, no freshmen are in the first set. So 106, 113, always kind of is a crapshoot, honestly, to getting kids in here. We are going out to 12 now, so that's pretty exciting just to get more kids in here, see who those it used to be like honorable mentions. Some ranking people do that, but now we're doing out to 12. So it's kind of cool to get some more kids in the rankings. But let's start at 106. What are we looking at here for kids that are returning state place winners?
So usually at 106, I don't really feel too good about the bottom half of it, or maybe even the middle, just because we don't do freshmen. But actually, this year I think I felt pretty good about the top 12 I put together here. I heard from most of the people, there were about 4 kids I didn't hear that were going to be at this weight for sure. I just kind of was hoping they were. They were small last year, I thought. Um, but yeah, I mean, I didn't hear back from Peterson, but I know he was small last year. I could see him being here at 6. Uh, Definitely a guy to look out for. Obviously, Dawson Schmidt, he was kind of between 13 and 6. So um, those would be your pretty heavy favorites here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, even I'm pretty happy with your top 8, 9 guys here. You have district qualifiers, state. You have 8 returning state qualifiers. So it's not too bad right here. You throw a couple freshmen in this, would be a pretty good weight, I think.
Yeah. So what are some of the freshmen that might be looking in here? Not sure where they're going to shake out. You don't have to kind of tell me where they should be if you were going to rank them, but what are a couple freshman names that you've got on your radar?
There's a kid from Missouri Valley who could definitely find his way in here. You got another Brisker from Wilton, supposed to be at 106. So I could see those two being fairly high by the end of the year.
Okay. Any other notes in here? At 106. I know you
Mm,
said the bottom half, can kind of be flopped a couple different ways. So
Yeah, it's no, not too much. I mean, you have 3 returning place winners and 3 other guys that qualified. So
okay, so
decent weight.
113. So bumping up to 113, Gable Porter had a huge win at Night of Conflict. Obviously, 1A versus 3A doesn't really affect these, right? But a lot of momentum, going into the season. I think that's a big win for him. Monkey off the back, so hopefully that gives him, some confidence going in. I don't know if he needs it, obviously, returning state champ. So 113. I mean, obviously he's number one, but man, there are guys clear down 6th through 8th that, and this weight class is already pretty stacked right now. The way I'm looking at this, I mean, are kids going to be? Are these kids staying here? Or are they thinking about maybe going up to 120? Can any of these kids go down to 106? But 113s look stacked.
I heard maybe there's a chance for more to go down to 6. Rinkin was small last year, I always heard, but they said he was going to be at 13 this year. I have all these guys confirmed at 13, so
Okay.
that's not guaranteed they're going to stay there, but that was what I heard back from either them or their coach. So I mean, yeah, your top 4 guys are top 3 finishers last year. You had Gable Porter, your state champ. Braden Graff, his only loss was to Lopez, guy who's on pace to be a 4-timer. And then you have Moore, who only lost to Porter, and Rinkin, who only lost to Porter. So, yeah, your top 4 is really tough here. Then, I mean, you have Hanson, who's really good. You have Happel. He's a Happel, so he's good. I mean, 6 through 10 are returning qualifiers. And then, yeah, 2 other guys there too. So, yeah, this is pretty solid for 13. I mean, I guess you don't usually see this, especially without any freshmen in there. So this is a very good weight, shaping up to be a very good weight.
All right. So, any freshmen in this one?
No, actually, I don't. From what I've seen, outside of a couple top end guys, this freshman class isn't too crazy this year. So,
Okay.
um,
So you
yeah,
mentioned Lopez at 120 on pace. I was a big. I like this Paez kid from Lisbon. I think he's going to keep getting better. Obviously, Lopez is he's got the resume, but I really like Paez. I don't know why, just something about him, and so I like him. You got Don Bosco kid number 4, Funk, Yeah. So outside of Lopez, I guess, and I mentioned Paez, but what else you got going on here at 20?
Uh, yeah. So again, here everybody here is a state qualifier better. All 12 of these guys. I even have a guy below that I don't have ranked who was a state qualifier last year. So just being a returning state qualifier didn't get in these rankings for sure. But yeah, you have, I mean, Lopez on pace to be a four-timer. I mean, everyone knows how good he is. Paez is a guy that I don't know if everyone would have picked to win state last year. He did it. He looked great. Now the question is that how good he is now, or do you have one good tournament? Is he going to get better than that? So, I mean, yeah, I'm really curious to see those two wrestle. Rose, great tournament last year. Funk has a win over Paez. Yeah, I mean, your top 7 are returning place winners, so
Okay.
it's another great weight.
All right. So Lopez. Trying to look
What do
at
you got?
team race.
What do
I
you
mean,
think?
team race. I'm just trying to think here. Sometimes, so Bosco, Lisbon. I mean, those gonna be some big points right there, right? Depending on where
Yeah,
the people are gonna be. So I mean, that's big.
duels. Yeah, that could be a good
26.
match.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Houston and Klingesmith have been at the weight class. I mean, you guys are always wrestling each other.
Mm-hmm.
At 126, you got Damon at number 1.
Yeah, runner up last year. I mean, you have a runner up at 3 there with McDonough. I always get the two McDonoughs mixed up, and the Central Springs guys always give me crap. I got them memorized this time, so I think we're all right there. Yeah, Klingensmith 3rd last year, runner up year before that. Another name that I don't know if people know or not, but you got Cameron Clark, West Sioux. He came over from Illinois, got second at state 2 years ago, went 2-2 at state last year. I didn't just throw this guy in out of nowhere, just being like, he got second Illinois, he must be good. I mean, a lot of people think Iowa's tougher. Maybe people think it's the other way, but he has a win over Ferguson. And actually, I went back and looked. Conflict at Carver, I think it was 3 or 4 years ago. He did beat Houston.
Okay.
But I went with Houston doing it in Iowa, being a runner-up here. I kind of want to see Clark do it here before I move him too much higher. But I mean, preseason 4, that's pretty high for a guy coming into Iowa. So, yeah, you got him there again, down to 8, all the way down to 8. You have a returning place winner, and then 10, 11, 12 returning qualifiers. I have. I mean, the guys I didn't rank at this weight are pretty solid too. So we just keep getting tougher and tougher with the weights as we go up here. This one's the best so far, and there's been some good ones.
So just kind of hearing, just hear these early weight classes, and we talked about, I think it was the sophomore class, which I believe I can't remember if it was last year. How do you feel the comparison between the senior class and the junior class? Which one is better right now? In just class 1A.
Oh God, I don't know. I'd have to look at it.
Because I mean,
I don't know. I'd have to look at it more than that.
yeah. I just didn't know if there was
give you a BS answer like Lars would, but I don't know. So
I feel like this junior class is really tough, but there's some seniors in here that uncommitted seniors that I think we might be sleeping on a little bit. But all right, so 126 is stacked, and so let's move up to 132. Noonan, Wyoming commit, obviously really put his name. It's crazy to say this, but really stamped his name in obviously the records books, but made national attention by getting his state title last year. So, but you've got Hagen at number 2 here as well. So, I mean, can he kind of upset Noonan's quest? Now, you're not going for 4, but to go back to back.
I don't know. With what Noonan did last year, I think that guy's just going to the moon, man. I mean, to beat a guy going for his fourth title like that, he wins. I watched that match and I immediately go up to the concourse to go to the bathroom. And who do I see? The guy who was the last one to beat a senior going for his fourth title, who's the head coach at Clarion right now. And I asked him, I was like, were you the last one to do that? He's like, yep, that was me. And I mean, how long ago was that? 20 years now. So you got to be pretty good to beat a guy going for his fourth title. Houston, he's really good. I don't know if he's quite on that level yet. My money definitely be on Noonan here. Yeah, another good weight. Top 6 guys, returning place winners. Yeah, I think your top 2 are above the rest here, but then I mean, there's not a lot of drop off really. You have all the way down to 11. You have Weston Allen from Underwood, a guy who was hurt last year, but he was a state qualifier 2 years ago as a freshman. Again, another weight where there's 1, 2. I got 5 guys that I didn't rank that are returning qualifiers. So a lot of depth.
All right, so yeah, Noonan's one of my favorite wrestlers at this weight class, especially after seeing him at Night of Conflict. He was a little bit bigger, but super impressed with him. I think he just needs to get preseason nationals. Did he wrestle in that?
Did anybody wrestle anywhere? I don't know.
There's preseason nationals, but here in Des Moines, but I'm not sure if he ended up going to it or not. I was looking forward to him being out there and see how he's going to do, but I don't think he did. I can't keep them all straight, but 138. I'm curious about this. So I mean, Avila, he's got him at number 1, but he looked big. He looked big at Night of Conflict. So who told you he can go down to 138? I mean, he looked like he was a little chubby.
That was right from the coach, man. I don't know. He's probably pretty motivated after that Night of Conflict match.
Yeah,
lean and mean, I would say.
Yeah, so getting him down to 38.
Yep. I mean, I don't see anyone touching him. I don't know, unless him and Noonan decide to meet up or something. Not even then, I don't know. But yeah, I don't think anybody in Iowa can hang with him right now at 38, especially. I mean, I don't know. Reese is pretty good.
It's hard to base off like Night of Conflict off of, because at the whole summer no one really doing anything, don't know what the training schedules are, so it's kind of hard to base things off of that, obviously. But he wasn't his normal self, so hopefully that was a kick in the ass to be like, all right, I got to get back to what I'm good at, and that's being explosive from his feet and being on the offense. He just was on the defense in that matchup, and he just looked not like Robert Avila. So,
well, even that though, like, I mean, look what Martin did out at Super 32s though. So
true, very true. Yeah, it's not like he was wrestling no slouch. That's true.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So, any other notes at 38 for you?
Just nothing too noteworthy, I would say. I mean, your one is about as set in stone as it gets. Rees, I don't know. I mean, he kind of gave him a go 2 years ago, or well, that was his brother. I don't know.
Breyer.
Yeah. It's Avila. So on to the next one.
Okay. 45. Got a Bosco guy up here, senior. The mullet, is he still got it? Is he still rocking that thing around town?
Oh yeah, he is.
He's not gonna let it go. He's gonna keep it. Is Coach Hogan gonna let him go with that?
I mean, I don't think Coach Hogan minds too much. I'm sure he's fine with it.
Okay.
As long as he keeps winning them matches, I'm sure he's not gonna make him cut it.
All right. So tell me a little bit about the rest of this weight class. I mean, everyone knows his name. So what else you got going on here at 45? Make it interesting for me.
Well, so you have Nick Hamilton, moved out of state. He's in Nebraska now. He was from Underwood. So that was the guy who beat Rondavardi in the finals last year. I mean, you got a couple high place winners there. Lopez was 4th. Kudum was 5th. Mulder was 5th. I really like to see Lopez and Rondavardi match up here. I think that could be a pretty good match. Kudum's in there a little bit, I would say. Lisbon, this is maybe a chance for Lisbon to pick up a little points. Holub was kind of up and down last year. He was kind of down towards the end of the year. So maybe a chance to make up some points here for that. But it's those guys in front of him are pretty tough. So it's going to be pretty tough for him to make up that ground. But
okay. All right, and moving up to 152, got a senior leading it, and then there's some youth at this weight class.
Yeah, Jaden Knight, a guy kind of came out of nowhere. I don't believe I had him ranked last year. Got 8th at state. Had a pretty good showing. He kind of split with some of the guys below him, kind of lost early in the year and then beat them late. You have him. McGeo, you got Lucy. Yeah. I think this is the year Rice finally gets it done. Lucy kind of made a big step last year. Glendenning, he's up from 120 last year all the way up to 52. Went 1-2 at state. Even out of 12, you had a guy who I had ranked about in the middle of the pack last year, but didn't have the greatest showing at districts. But it's another solid weight, I would say, top to bottom.
Okay. All right. So moving up to 60.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is Cade. Football player still, right?
Yep.
They've always been big football players, right? So what are your thoughts on, coming back here? What have they been doing in the summer with all this stuff going on? Let's see here.
Lots of garage workouts. Every time I go by, somebody has their shirt off in the garage lifting.
So another back to back Bosco guys here, and then again at 70, and then at 82. So it's just nonstop Bosco guys here at number 1. So dual team. This is going to be. They don't have. 152. They're a little light. Yep. They don't have anybody ranked at that, but
So I guess, sorry, I should go back to 52. Another guy you're going to have here, you're going to have a freshman. You're going to have Max Magana from Columbus, Waterloo, Columbus.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to be right up at the top, if not at the top here, whenever the rankings come out. That's a guy that, has beat Tate Knockaborn. Some of those good 3A guys. So, I'm going to have to look at it, maybe have him get a couple matches under his belt, but I could see him challenging for that number 1 spot pretty early.
Yeah, he's been the number 1 guy since we've been doing some junior high rankings, and then he's number 1 in the freshman rankings, the top 25 pound for pound rankings. So I thought he was going 60. Thought he was going 60, but 52 might be the spot for him too. But freshman, obviously, that's going to make an impact. Good catch on adding him on here. But so tell me about 60 and 70. Are these just back-to-back Bosco kids heavy favorites?
We'll get to 70 here, but at 60, not a guarantee by any means. Cade Tennell and Carson Tennell lost in tiebreakers last year in the state finals. The guys they lost to both graduated. Entrican, 5th place finisher last year. A lot of close matches with some good guys. Hanson, 4th place finisher. You got a lot of state place winners here where, one trip up and you could be in trouble. But, from what I heard, McGain is going 52. I could see him maybe, I don't know, depending on how it goes, go to a different weight. But yeah, I think, Tennell's your favorite here, runner up last year, like I said. But This one gets a little thinner towards the bottom. Some okay names in there, but yeah, Tenold's probably the favorite here for sure.
Okay. So then Frost here at 70, back to back.
So he is actually the only returning place winner at this weight. This is probably the thinnest weight that I think I ranked here. And this is an area where Lisbon maybe has a chance to lose some points. Max Cole lost in the blood round last year, lost in sudden victory in the blood round. He's wrestled a lot of good guys tough. Wrestled Carson Tenold really, really tight last year. But you have a lot of guys right in that tier with him that, blood round, 0-2, third place at district guys. But this, as it sits right now, is definitely the thinnest weight.
Okay. So with that said, when you're saying it's kind of thin as far as returning people, returning kids, is there anybody that you think maybe could come in here from 60 or 82?
Yeah, even 60, there's maybe a couple guys, but I don't know if I'm Entrican, maybe I'm thinking I could knock off Tenold, Hansen, maybe. Then once you get down below that, I could see them moving up, but I don't know if I'd make them a title contender. But then you go up to 82 and guys moving down. You got Lynott from West Sioux. He was at 82 last year, so I wouldn't imagine there's too much of a chance of him dropping down a weight. I don't know, maybe Wagner. He was at 60 last year, so you just don't know if these guys are like full on 82s or if they're just like, this is close enough.
Frost going play baseball?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
Where's
he is.
Headed?
Kirkwood.
Do you know if he had any? Was there any possible way that he'd wrestle?
No, I don't think that was ever thought.
The big baseball player. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So sorry to get off a sidebar of wrestling here.
Yeah, what the hell are you doing?
82 went through that. A couple weight classes here. Senior at the top, Mulder from Western Christian.
Yep. Third place last year. His only losses were to Carson Tenold. We kind of skipped over 82. You got Tenold and Lynott. That could be a really good match. Wagner, Tenold beat Wagner. The other one beat Wagner last year, but it definitely wasn't a blowout. And a couple other guys that are decent here. You got kind of the fight to make the stand at the bottom might be good. All those guys down to 12 are decent. But yeah, on a 95. Mulder, yeah, like I said, his only losses to Tenold last year. DeWalt, only a sophomore at 95. Was a state place winner as a freshman at 82 last year. And then, you got a lot of guys again probably really 3 through 12 I could see being anywhere from third to 02. So they're pretty even. They're all good. It's just even down that far.
All right. Sorry to skip over 82. You know me. These upper weight classes are just like, I'm a lighter weight guy, so I just like to skip over some of these weight classes.
I'm the same way. I like the lighter weights. I'm not quite as light as you are. You could still make 106.
But rough. That'd be rough. All right, so 82 went back that. Mulder, Western Christian, 195. Tell me a little bit about this Jackson DeWald.
Sophomore. I did. I told you. Sophomore. He got 7th last year as a freshman. He's between 82 and 95. I could see him going down to 82. What more do you want? The guy, look at that. He's a sophomore at 195. Place as a freshman.
Okay. All right. Think he should be number 1?
No.
Okay.
Not quite yet.
All right. Bump up 220. Lisbon back here with a guy, Cole Clark. Number
Yeah,
one
a guy
spot.
I thought was gonna win it last year, ends up second. I mean, you got 2, 3, 4 here at 1, 2, 3. That's what they placed last year. Second, third, fourth. Thierry, he's real tough. I mean, Wrecker, he's given Thierry a couple goes. Mar, he's a guy who had a tough sectional last year. He actually didn't make it out of sectionals. Pretty solid here. This is okay. Now that I keep going down here, this is probably the hardest decision I had. I actually texted the group here on what to do with Damon Meyer. So he was at 195 last year, got sixth. The three guys in front of him didn't place, but he lost to all three of them last year. Technically he bumped up because he was a 95 pounder. They were 220. I was kind of back and forth on what to do because a lot of times what I end up settling on is, how you're graded is a state tournament. You can say, I was hurt. I had a bad showing. It's like, yeah, but everybody knows that's what you're going for. That's what the test is. So a lot of times I weigh that pretty heavy, but when those three guys were literally the three guys I was putting you up against in the rankings, I just ultimately decided to put Meyer at 7. The other three guys ahead of him, if somebody argued it the other way, I wouldn't be mad and say they're an idiot. I mean, they'd be wrong, but I wouldn't say they're an idiot. I could see it. But anyways, there you go on that.
Yeah, I mean, so there was a comment on Instagram to where they did. The comment was like, predicament, greater sign, I wrestle rankings. And, everyone has their opinions. That's fine. We've been getting that stuff since we started, and it is what it is. And I just asked, like, why? And he said, well, they do more research than you guys do. Well, do you know what that research is? You guys just only, and then he said, you guys only use, you are all about the state wrestling tournament. Well, what the hell's the season about? Like, I get it if you're, there's 3 ranked wrestlers and one has to stay home, and that third wrestler probably could be on the stand, right? But
yeah,
that's not that. I mean, what does it happen like once or twice? Is maybe over all 3 classes?
Yeah, for sure.
Districts. I mean, it's pretty rare that happens.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
how do you not use the state tournament as? Because if you're not using folk style or freestyle or Greco, what else is there? I don't know. Okay, maybe if a kid gets hurt, all right, kid gets hurt, his season's done. Then, as a ranker, though, it's kind of hard to. How do you base it off that? If he was hurt,
I don't know. I guess how I like to look at it through the year is, so say we wrestled, 2 guys wrestled mid-season, one guy was a little bit hurt. He's like, I was hurt. That wasn't, well, I want to see you again. I was hurt. And like, I can buy that. Like, okay, whatever, you don't want to get hurt worse or whatnot. I mean, I maybe wouldn't use an excuse, but I can see it. But like when it comes to state tournament, to me, there are no excuses. Everyone's 100%. I don't care if you're actually 5%. I mean, you showed up, you're 100%. And that's what we're going to grade you off of. So there could be a little nuance there, but I mean, everyone knows that's what the final test is at the end of the year. So,
yep. All right, I'm just trying to get you riled up here. I mean, you're cool, calm, and collected this show. I'm just trying to get you riled up a little bit. Now we're already at heavyweight, and I feel like I haven't got any juiciness out of yet. And Riley Snell. He's a junior. The last 2 years, I've caught some flack on your end of why you just keep dogging on this Riley Snell.
I mean, I don't know how much higher I can put a guy. The only person in front of him is the guy that beat him in the state finals last year. What do you want me to do?
Correct. Here? I'm just saying in past years. So tell me a little bit about this weight class. Obviously lost in state finals.
You know how much crap I take on a daily basis? This is not going to get me riled up, bud. You have to do a lot more than that.
Okay. All right. 285. So anyways, what we got going on here?
You have your state champ and your state runner-up back here, so I like that. That's easy to re-rank there. Yeah, for sure. Um, Whipple, he was 7th last year, so there you go. Actually beat Murray in the ultimate tiebreaker in the blood round, man. How about that? Losing blood round, ultimate tiebreaker. Um, so there you go, another one. 4 pretty easy there. Okay, so now this is probably Lisbon's one of their biggest chances to move up team points wise. You had Baltus last year, didn't make it to state. He actually got pinned by Hartley at districts. I didn't see the match. I don't know if he caught him. I don't know if he's up 1,000 and got pinned or what happened, but Baltus, he's good. He's a real deal. I don't know if I would have him, had a bust or anything like that, but I could see him working his way up the rankings here, getting some more team points. Another guy, like with team race implications, you have Rex Johnson, the guy I've always been really high on because he beat a lot of good guys in AAU. He was an upper weight as a freshman, obviously didn't do as good as I would have thought he would have, but at the same time, upper weights as a freshman, not always easy. Last year he got 4th at districts. I think he lost a heartbreaker to make it. And then I don't know if he packed it in for that 4th place match or whatever, but I've been expecting big things out of him. So up to heavyweight this year, number 9. I could see him being up there real high again. So I don't know. Either I'll maybe give up on ranking him high, or he's going to do it this year. We're going to see it. So,
all right,
there you go.
All right, so that's so I did this with Lars yesterday, and obviously that's kind of a quick, brief look at every single weight class. Again, all the rankings are on Rockfin. Love to hear how bad Eric Schares' rankings are, so drop them in the comment section on Rockfin or on Twitter. Make sure you tag him in there. But what are some storylines that if you don't follow Class 1A very well, and you're Don Bosco Lisbon. We know Don Bosco is heavily favored, obviously, with their lineup having multiple number ones here. What are some other storylines that people can follow in Class 1A this year?
Well, I'll just say I'm gonna be home tomorrow and Friday, so I got time if you wanna argue with me. So just be ready there if you come at me with that. But I don't know. I think we kind of covered it all. It's Bosco Lisbon, a couple teams outside shot. You probably the best freshman in all 3 classes is Magana, 152. A couple other, lower weight decent freshmen as there always are. So
you got Noonan going for 3. You got
Avila going for 3. Lopez going for 3.
Avila's the only one.
No, Lopez. He could be a 4-timer.
Lopez and Avila are on track for 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a storyline there.
Yep.
Team race, we already kind of covered that.
Yeah, you got 2 state champs at 120.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Lopez, like we said.
I think correct me if I'm wrong, but Logan Magnolia's got a pretty solid team. I mean, they're not going to compete with Don Bosco, right? But
no, they do.
Am I crazy for saying that Logan Magnolia's got, like, we haven't seen them for a while, and now like they've got a team that could be contending for a trophy?
I've actually been saying it for a while. I think last year I said it too, because the year before that, I think they had a bunch of freshmen that were pretty solid. They had like 9 guys that were freshmen that were starters, I think 2 years ago. It was something insane like that. So I mean, these guys are now juniors and seniors. I could see them right up there with the trophy. I think you'd have to have a lot of things to go wrong for them to beat both Lisbon and Bosco.
Yeah, I'm not saying beating them, but I mean, get a third, maybe trying to get that 3rd place trophy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Trophy's a trophy. That. You know why they're doing well now, right?
Why is that?
Jeff Cool, Russell Simpson.
Oh yeah.
He's coaching there. No big deal. Simpson College. Simpson College Pride.
I mean, a great name too. That was one of my
Jeff
all-time favorite
Cool. Yeah, it's a
names.
badass
Younger
name.
when he, yeah, yep, yep.
He's at a
Spelled a
bar.
little different.
He's at a bar and he just says, "Hey, I'm Jeff Cool." I mean, how do you not pick up chicks with that?
Fight immediately ensues. Like, tell me your real name, dang it.
He's been with his wife for ages, so it's not much fun. But anyways, all right. So, anything else, Class 1A you want to get to here that we didn't cover?
No, I mean it's 1A is way tougher than 2A.
What are you
And
hearing
3A.
about? Lars said 2A is the toughest.
Did he say that was a straight face?
Yeah, he said it's the best.
Oh my god.
It's not even close. But
I mean, that
hey,
says something. Either says something about him or man.
that 2A is just straight homer.
Is he
I
good
mean
at?
that's bad.
Is he good at poker or what? He has to have a good poker face.
No, he's not. All right, so I do want to chat with you a little bit, obviously, because Bosco's going there, and I know you got your finger on that. But so we're planning on streaming the Keith Young, which is in. Let me look at my calendar here. So 1, 2, 3 weekends. 3 weekends from now. Donnybrook got canceled yesterday. Independence is still planning on having their tournament. Indy. Sounds like Waverly got an Indy, right? Did you hear that too?
That's what I saw in the text. Yeah.
So that makes that tougher. It sucks for the Keith Youngs. That's where Waverly split were used to be before they went to Donnybrook. I get wanting to go to Donnybrook. That would have been a cool event. But teams on track wrestling right now, and I don't know if teams are pulling out of this or not, but you got Ames, Beckman Catholic, Belle Plaine, Cedar Falls, Cedar Rapids, Jefferson, and Kennedy, Charles City, Denver, Bosco, Dowling, Hudson, Mason City, Norwalk, Valley. Anything between those schools, I mean, Denver's kind of Denver's kind of down, aren't they?
Yeah, a little bit from where they've been. They still got some decent guys, but not the
Yeah,
top end guys necessarily.
I just talked to the AD about the event, and he didn't say anybody's out of it yet. But I'm just curious if any of these teams. I haven't looked to see kind of possible matchups, but anything that kind of catches your eye, I guess. Hudson.
No, I mean, Ames. I think they're a new one. I don't think I've ever seen them there before. I don't know. I mean, I'm always the most honest guy here. I feel like I feel like obviously early on this year is just going to be a total crapshoot, even if it does happen early on.
Yeah.
Like I said, I mean, Bosco literally plays football tomorrow, with the hopes of playing next week too. So, I mean, I would be shocked if they have more than half of a team go to that. So I'm doing a great job promoting an event here that we're covering, I guess.
You're a company. Yeah, you're a company man. Shares. You're a company
Absolutely.
man. Well, I mean, I've heard Valley might not be going to, so it's kind of crazy what will be happening. But I said it yesterday too that teams will find ways to get competition. Yeah. It might not be the big tournaments, but I'm okay with just a couple duels on the weekends.
Yeah, I'm trying to prepare myself for. I don't know. I have no inside information. You probably know way more than I do, but I'm expecting nothing before Christmas. I'm just anything before Christmas, awesome. I mean, like look yesterday, they were going to allow 7,000 people in the dome for football, and just today they more than cut it in half. So there isn't anyone that knows ahead what they're doing. They don't know day to day what they're doing yet, and I don't blame them. But
yep, that's just true. It's true. So just positive vibes, Shares. Positive vibes.
Well, if you're looking for positivity, you're looking in the wrong place right here, buddy.
What's that town? What's the town in Trolls where everybody just like hits their face? They hit their face with the freaking fly swatter, and they just pour stuff on people. What is that movie in Trolls?
I've
What
seen
the
Trolls.
hell
I
is
don't
that
remember
town?
that.
That's gonna drive me nuts.
It's
You're a
probably
dad, you should
Gilbertville.
know.
It's probably Gilbertville.
Trolls. Yeah, it's Gilbertville, Iowa. Trolls. Town. Oh, God, it's gonna drive me nuts.
This is great podcasting here. We watch a lot of Ryan in this house. Ryan Toy Video.
Ryan? What the hell's Ryan?
Man, we're getting way off the rails right now.
What the hell is this town? The Bergens? The Bergen town?
Oh, okay. There you
Is
go.
it Bergen town? The Bergens?
I don't know. That's the bad guys.
Those are the bad guys. Those are the Bergens are the ones that like to eat the trolls.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
3A versus 3A are 3A is the Bergens, 1A are the trolls.
We were gonna have. We still might have your top 3A versus top 1A team this year, right? I thought you were gonna sell that maybe a little bit,
dude. Southeast Polk versus Bosco. I'm okay, all right, as long as we get this in Gilbertville
in the Snake Pit.
January 2nd, the very first dual day of iWrestle dual day. As long as that happens, I'm good. That'd be a good way to kick off the season. Competition.
There you go.
What do you
think? You get both the teams in there. The 10 coaches for each team, so that'd be a packed house because that's about all the gym holds.
Yeah, no fans for sure.
Well, the gym will be packed with just the wrestlers and a couple coaches, so that'd be fun.
Damn, dude, that's gonna be a hell of a freaking duel.
Yeah, you got Agnich, your new head coach. He's buddies with a couple of guys on. Well, I don't. Maybe they wouldn't like me saying buddies. I think they got a little rivalry going on there with some of the younger Bosco coaches. So,
ooh, I like that.
That's for some big bragging rights there, in more ways than one.
Just trying to look at here, dude. Bosco. I mean, Southeast Polk's pretty good lighter weights, right? But Southeast Polk from like 60 to
yeah, I haven't even looked at the other rankings.
60 to 95. That's where Bosco's good. So maybe it will be a little bit of an offset. They got running at 220.
Yeah, I haven't broke it down. I haven't looked at 2A or 3A rankings because they're behind a paywall this year. So.
Oh yeah. We don't give Schares a password to the other rankings. He just does his rankings and he's cut off everything else. All right, that's an episode of Potentially Dangerous. Unless you got anything else, you good?
I mean, I've been done for a while now, to be honest, right?
What time do you get up today?
Today?
Yeah.
5:45 every morning.
Jesus. Run a mile? You still running?
Yeah, I am. I gotta run tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not Mac Rider 5 a day, but
hey, that was a fun little episode. If you didn't see that, Mac Rider, 4-time state champion from Bosco, was on Hager's happy hour. He couldn't have any beers because he was coaching, which I was very disappointed in, but I get it.
Wearing a mask, nobody can smell your breath. You're fine. He should have done it anyways.
That's what I said. I had 2 masks. Put that. It is what it is. All right, that's been another episode of Potentially Dangerous. Eric Schares on Twitter, on social media. Give him a follow. Hassle him as much as possible. He's got less than 500 followers, folks. Give him a follow, please.
I'm soft blocked. I think the government has blocked me or something because I make some good jokes on there and nobody sees them.
You do. I think you just piss people off and they just unfollow you or something. I don't know. We got to get you some followers. So you just got to tweet more, maybe. I don't know. We'll help you out. All right.
Don't say that.
Give Schares a follow. Prime a little bit. Maybe he can bring Shots Fired back podcast. I'll get him a new computer. Get him out of dial-up internet, and we'll get that podcast going again. So for Schares, Hager, everybody at iWrestle, thanks for subscribing to Rockfin. Class 1A, we're going to break that down tomorrow. And then we've got middle school rankings dropping next week. That will be interesting. So 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, got junior high rankings coming next week. So get ready for more. Find out the future of high school wrestling next week. So have a good day and stay safe, everybody.